Hey party people, how's it going? It's Amanda here. This video is for you, Jen. I looked at the clock and I was like, oh shit, it's 8 o'clock and I promised Jen I would do a video today. Thanks for reaching out. Thank you all of you who are still hanging on to my Fits and Starts channel. Yeah, I wanna be here. I wanna say shit that matters. I want to support you in whatever you're going through, whether that be recovery or starting something scary and ambitious. I can share about some shit that I have been through and how I got through it and what I'm experiencing now. So I think I mentioned in one of my last videos, that was a while ago, I'm sorry, about how I was really stretching myself out of my comfort zone. I was tasked with putting together an art event for a nonprofit that I work for, and it was the first time I had done anything like that, and I was really excited when I was told that would be my job, and then as I started just figuring out how to do it, I went through all the roller coaster of emotions of like, am I good enough to do this? Is this gonna suck? This is a nightmare. You know, it was just ups and downs. There were really exciting moments, and then things happened that didn't go the way I wanted, and then things went better than I wanted, and it just all was this whole thing. And I went through a period where I was just kind of a wreck over the whole thing. All the stress had kind of accumulated, the anxiety and all this, and I was in a funk. And then it took a couple days. I took care of myself. I came out of it. And then the week leading up to it was nice. Like I felt in this really balanced place where I was just taking care of myself. I was surrendering the results. I was letting go of expectations. You know, I was doing my best and I was showing up. And that was just going to have to be enough, you know? And things turned out really well. I saw some great friends there. Martine, what up? And it just, I don't know, it was just this really magical high vibe kind of thing, and I was just really grateful to how it turned out. And I think that I showed up for the organization the way that I wanted to, and made some new connections, and learned how to collaborate better and build community, and just lots of good things to add to the old tool belt there, and the the memories and all this shit. It was a very warm, fuzzy, good growth experience, and I'm grateful the way it turned out. So I wanted to share two things. One is this exercise that I did leading up to the event to sort of keep my mind from going crazy and talking a bunch of shit to me like it likes to do, with the whole like, what if you suck? What if everyone hates you? What if this blows up in your face? What if you ruin everything? You know, I still am prone to that kind of thinking. So one thing that I did that was really helpful was I took out my journal and I just let all that shit out onto the page. I talk a lot about writing here because it really fucking helps. So please, if you're not doing it, try it and see. So I wrote down all the what ifs, all the nasty negative what ifs. What if this person hates me? What if nobody comes to this thing? What if I fail? What if I get fired over this? Just any kind of panic, end of the world scenario that my brain was trying to throw up, I just wrote it all down. And then what I did was I went through all of those and I flipped them around to the opposite. So I did a whole other list of what ifs, only instead of what if everyone hates me, I wrote what if everybody loves me? What if this goes great? What if we make tons of money for this organization? What if something amazing comes of this? What if this is so much fun? And just as I wrote that, like I didn't necessarily believe them all right away, but it did something to me where I realized like all these negative what ifs, all the positive what ifs are just as valid. Like if I'm gonna be in the future tripping, it's just as likely that this could go really well. In fact, and as I was writing this, my brain was like calming down and I was getting a new perspective on the whole thing. I'm like, in fact, it's more likely that this is gonna go better than I am thinking because I'm doing my part. Like I'm showing up, I'm doing my job, I'm planning, I'm doing the things I need to do. I trust in this higher power that's got me this far. I don't think that I'm going to fall on my ass. And then the other thing that I was able to hold on to through this process was that, you know what, even if all these terrible what ifs happened, I could handle that today. Today I have the capacity to handle when things go wrong, right? I don't even necessarily believe that things go wrong. Like I can learn from my failures. I can learn from my mistakes. I can handle disappointment. I can handle getting my feelings hurt. I can handle looking stupid. It's not fun. It still feels shitty. But I don't have to drink over it. I don't have to use drugs over it. I don't have to end my life over it. I don't even have to go into a shitty place for a long time over that. So the exercise really helped, and then it like pre-paved the whole scenario, and I think that all that kind of work that I was doing to take care of my mind and myself throughout this process and to really lean on this higher power that I was giving. You know, it's like I show up and do the work, but it's like, hey, you're in charge of the results. Like, I was trying to keep my ego out of it and stuff, and it just ended up better than I ever could have dreamed. So I think that helped. The other thing I want to talk about, though, is this very real flip side of when things go really well for me. And I know other people that this happens to, and I suspect that it's actually really common, although I don't hear it talked about a lot, so I wanted to share about it on here. And that's sort of this crash that happens after all this elation and good times, and, you know, we get the thing we really wanted, things go off without a hitch. And then there's just this sort of like deflated feeling at the end. For me, it almost feels like a depression. Like it's a few days of it feels like a crash. Like I'm low energy. I feel bummed out. I feel kind of disillusioned. I feel like, oh, is that all there is? And I just think that's really normal. And I noticed that this time around, I was expecting it because I've had enough experience with this. And when I first noticed it, I was like, what the fuck is going wrong? You know, as I do. And as I talked about it to people and they were like, oh no, this is normal and you can get through it. A lot of it is just expecting that this will happen, because there's all this buildup, there's all this anticipation. It's that whole thing about like anticipating Christmas or birthday or something is usually a million times better than the actual day. Or it's this idea of like having this thing to look forward to and work for, and then you achieve it and you enjoy it, and then it's over and it's like, oh, what now? So it's just this little ego game of like, I don't know, it's like an existential kind of crisis. Like, oh, I was striving for this thing and then it happened and my life hasn't really changed that much. You know, there's no kind of plateau, or I'm still me. I still come home to my apartment. I still have another job to do. I still have another task on my plate. So, you know, for me, it just really helped to expect that sort of deflated, low energy feeling, and then to really just take care of myself through it. Like I got more rest. I tried to take a couple days to just have fun, because a big part of it for me too is acknowledging that I am an introvert, and so my energy, I like absorb a lot of people's energy and I get really excited, and then I'm just like, whew, that was it takes a lot out of me even when it's good stuff. So I just had to like have some quiet time. I took myself on an artist date. I just had a nice couple days where I wasn't working super hard. I really took a moment to acknowledge myself, like to just be really kind to myself, like, hey, you really stretched yourself and you did a new thing, and I'm proud of you for doing that, and thank you for showing up the way you did, and thank you for being willing to try new scary shit. You know, so take time to celebrate yourself. Take time to honor your accomplishments. Too often we just go right to the next thing. Like, okay, that's out of the way. And you don't even give yourself even a beat to like appreciate what you did, what you put in the world, to feel. I had a really dear friend who showed up to the event, and she was like, I hope that you're taking time to let yourself soak in these good feelings and these nice things that people are saying, and the happy faces on people that are participating in this thing that you've helped create. I hope you're taking time to just like soak some of that in. And I wish that for all of you too. It's really cool to have goals and ambitions and be out there making shit happen in the world. But you want to give yourself time to enjoy it, and you want to take care of yourself to feel all the feels as you're kind of coming out of it and getting ready to go on to the next thing. So I just wish you all the best. Thank you for being out there. Thank you for caring. Thanks for watching. Take care of each other, and I'll see you next time. Bye.